Welcome to Out of the Teapot podcast, a podcast where we share incredible journeys of Zimbabweans who have stepped out of their comfort zones and into new countries, cultures, and experiences. Join us as we explore the challenges, triumphs, and inspiring stories of life beyond borders. Whether you're part of the diaspora or just curious about life abroad, there's something here for everyone. Tune in, get inspired, and discover the world beyond the teapot. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media, and share your thoughts with the hashtag Out of the Teapot podcast. Okay, today I have a very special guest. I will allow her to introduce herself and then we'll take it from there.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and I'm so excited to be on this podcast. I've seen you doing great things, and I've seen from the other guests that you've had, like the conversation is going on, and it's amazing. Anyways, and I'm so excited to be here and to be sharing my part of living the teapot country. Anyway, my name is Diana. I was born and raised in Harare, but I come from Mutare, Ndriwasu, but I was born and raised in Harare. I grew up in Waterfalls. Yes, I grew up in Waterfalls. Then we moved to Highfield. I did my primary school in Bare. Then a school called Shingirai Primary School. Then we moved to Highfield. I went to Highfield High 1. I did my education up to O level, and that's what my parents could afford. So after O level, I couldn't do anything else because I had two siblings behind me. So my parents were not able to take me further, even if I wanted to do something. So I only finished at O level. Then I went to stay with my cousin just after O level. She used to stay in Waterfalls. So I went back to Waterfalls, stay with my cousin. And she got me a job just immediately after O level. I started working. I was a receptionist, a runner.
Right. The hustle spirit.
Yeah.
The hustle spirit was installed in
Yes. So in the office, if they wanted like anything in the office, okay, Diana should go and buy. If there's no one to answer the phone, I should do it, cleaning the dishes. So I was like a runner. I was doing everything and anything. That was my first job. It was a small company. Mm-hmm. Then after joining that company, I then went to another company, which was a big company in Harare. I worked for that company for like 5-6 years before I moved to South Africa. And with the company, I was a receptionist. Right. Yes, I started as a data capture. Then I became a receptionist. But I used to have side hustles. Like I used to cross-border trading.
Right.
Yes, I used to do cross-border trading because the money was not enough. And I wanted to help my parents also. So I used to do cross-border trading. I used to go to Botswana, like when I finished work on a Friday, then go to Botswana, buy my stuff on a Saturday. The same Saturday evening, I get on the bus and I come back to Harare, then sell my stuff out, sell my wares to my friends and my whatever, So it was Botswana in South Africa.
Nice. I understand so much this whole thing about having a side hustle while you're working. When I was working in Harare, I had also an Avon side business. So in Harare, you need like a side business to survive.
You know what? I've done all those, what are they called? MLMs. So those like pyramid, whatever programs.
Yeah.
I did Avon. I was so big with Avon back then. Then I did Afrish Lane. Then I did Angel. Then I did the other one. I think it's Amapoto. So, but I've done everything and anything.
I remember also when I was looking for a job like after uni, I saw this job advert and somebody invited me to an interview. I went, the interview was Munafest, only to find out this was an MMM meeting. Bro, like it was so I just stayed there for like 10 minutes and I started
Mm.
to leave, and the facilitator was like, "Wona yana shawara na mu."
You left.
Like, bruh,
Yeah.
I'm out of here.
Also for me, I think selling comes naturally. Like selling comes naturally because I remember I started selling sweets on the roadside when I was like 6 years.
Look at you, hustler
I'm
spirit.
telling you. So when I was 6 years, I used to sell sweets on the roadside. Then my mother used to sell my freezits, nema puti. I'm gonna maybe get Lord Malvern. If you know Lord Malvern School in Waterfalls, that's where my mother used to sell my sweets, baguette. That's where I grew up. Then when we moved to Highfield, I think it's some madomas, nema
Wow.
vegetables. I do have a picture of that somewhere floating on the internet. I can't pick up my glass. Selling madomas. So I used to sell that.
Mm.
And we used to sell, she used to make my pit cots, So we used to say, like, I think all my life, I've just been selling and selling and selling and selling.
Was instilled in you.
Anyway, yes. So fast forward to today, I am a content creator in the fashion space. I love fashion. I just love looking nice. I love yeah, I just love looking
You know,
nice, and
You are
I am
fashionista.
sorry.
I've seen your Instagram. You're a fashionista, and
No, thank you, thank you,
yeah.
thank you.
Okay, so let's talk. We've talked about like your background growing up. How then did you finally decide to leave Zim to go to SA as you've briefly mentioned?
Okay, so like I said, I was selling my wares like clothes, hembe, my TV, chi. So I think that time ndoma mbatanga my color TV, so I would buy those color TVs, but then to South Africa kwangu my jeans, there were jeans, my jelly shoes, the whole fashion young of South Africa.
Mhm.
So and I also had a love interest in South Africa. And my friends were in South Africa, so it only made sense to move to SA. It only made sense to move to SA because also the money was good, and also to stay close to my business. So what I eventually did was to move to SA, then started buying stuff, no bars, and my sister in Zimbabwe would do the distribution. So our thing went on for quite some time. Then I got married. Then the business died. But I kept on doing the Avon since I was in South Africa. Then I kept on doing the Avon, and also when I was in South Africa, I then started studying because I was able now to pay for my own fees with my hustles that I was doing. I then studied with UNISA. I did a BA in communication science.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah.
And how did you find like settling in South Africa prior to, living in Harare, being like a, hustler? Was it any different, or like is the business hustler spirit in Harare the same as Joburg?
Okay, so I couldn't do my hustle in SA because I didn't know anyone back then. But my hustle went on. I just used to buy my stuff in South Africa, then sell it in Zimbabwe. So the hustle kind of went on, but I never used to sell to South Africans. Settling in SA was okay. I think because that's when did I move to SA? I think 2010, 2009, 2010 during the World Cup. And a lot of Zimbabweans had already moved, and I had friends who were there. So it was kind of easy socially. It was kind of easy socially, but I only had O level then. Kwanabasa was a hassle. So I had to do that. I had to do that degree so that I could get a job.
So,
And I started. Then again, I was still in the receptionist in the admin field.
right. Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then so afterwards you talked about that you got married and then you had kids, I assume. Um,
Yes.
and how is that like just being a family in SA? We hear a lot of things about SA, and yeah, would you like to talk about that?
Yeah, essay is essay. Essay is essay. Like when I sit right now, when I think of the where I used to where I used to buy my stuff, and when I look at those places today, I always ask myself, didn't I end up with? Because it's
It's so scary, is it?
it's kuri maparts kwandaitenga zvinhu zvanga kunowanikwa zvinhu zvakachipa kuri dangerous. But
Mm.
I used to go there. I was never scared of anything. I used to go there. But when I look back right now today, I'm like,
Do you
I
think
was,
like, is it because back then it wasn't as scary, or it has always been scary?
I don't know. I don't know. You know what? Maybe it's the media. I don't know. Maybe it's the media we consume through the news or whatever. But when I look at the videos that I see of today of South Africa, it's crazy. But when I talk to my friends who are back there, or when it's not as crazy as it seems on the media.
Sensationalized things.
Yes, exactly. And also the side of Joburg that I used to stay myself was the quieter side, the Lani side or whatever. That's where I used to stay.
Nice.
So so the adjusting was fun, and it was wow for me, for a person who's coming from Highfields, from the ghetto, to be staying in the Lani sides of the city. It was okay. I can't complain.
Nice.
And getting back to parenting, I had a lot of support. Like being in South Africa, I had a lot of support. My sister would just come, like, if I need help, please come and help me. And also, I used to have a helper, so support was easy. Support was there. So parenting was not really a hassle. And I used to have friends, like communities of moms, of Zimbabweans, of South Africans.
Right.
So it was quite easy.
You mentioned that you did a bachelor with UNISA just so that you can leverage your job opportunities. Uh, what was the situation afterwards? Did you manage to get something better? And how did your career progress while you're in SA?
Yes. So from doing the admin work, I then went and I worked for an agency, for an advertising agency, and which was fun, and it sparked my love for marketing. But I did get into that organization as an admin.
Okay.
Kapinda ngori admin futi ndichingoita zvekungo that time I wasn't a runner, but it was a fancy agent, so ndandine kaposition karipo, ndine motikari, So, like working with people who are doing great things, you get inspired, you want to be like them. So I started using my degree there, and because I was a account executive, managing my little accounts. And from there, I then went to another company, the one that I was working before I left South Africa. I was now an account manager, and to manage all my accounts. We can't do this. So, but it. Mhm.
Yeah, sorry, you can go on.
Yes, I'm saying upgrading myself, like upskilling and getting the degree was it really worked for me. But homemaking is my calling.
Yeah. It's your
Homemaking, just being a housewife is
passion.
is one thing that I love. I want my degree just to put it on the wall and just know that I know something. But I don't know. We'll talk about it later in the conversation. But yeah.
Okay, I'll do a mental note on that. Okay, so now what made you decide that, you know what, I don't think essay is for me anymore. I need to be looking somewhere else. Was it your decision, and how did that come out?
Okay, yeah. So fast forward to 2019. Then I was then a mother of three, 2019,
All right.
and the school fees was hectic. The school fees was hectic. So, like I say, the side of town that I used to stay, fees were expensive. Like everything that side is expensive, from the rent house to the fees, everything was expensive. And to get my kids into the public schools, everyone wants to be in that public school because there are good public schools. So I had to take them to a private school. And thinking now to have three kids in a private school, I I couldn't afford that in the long run. I wasn't going to afford it because you have to pay for extramurals, you have to pay for tuition and all and pay help. But like the bills were like when the money is so for that reason we then decided, okay, we need something better also. And the other thing that I really wanted was to give my kids a better life.
Right.
You know how it is with parents. Even if I look at my parents, all they wanted was me to have a better life than them. And also for my kids, I wanted them to have a better life than mine. And staying in South Africa, it wasn't going to work. Like financially, it wasn't going to work. It wasn't on our side. So we then decided, okay, where can we go? What can we do? And also, I cannot say I was directly affected by xenophobia, but it's the xenophobia and the crime. I was then when it comes to crime, I was directly affected with crime. I lost a loved one through the crime in South Africa, and I had a close a close counter with crime. Like
So
I
sad.
was in a road, the Young Smarts. It's a very popular busy road in South Africa, and there was no Konksnama gates. So you know how it is when there's traffic. These guys went just ahead of mine.
Oh my goodness.
Magetsi anga ariko but takamiswa nerobot. Vakaenda pamotikari iri pamberi pangu, they took out their guns. I'm just on the they took out the guns, went on the. So what they usually do is they take out the guns, whatever, point at you, so that you give them their phones, whatever that they can see in the car. And luckily enough, the robot rakabvaravhura uyo yandobva afamba. Inini manje ndafreeze.
Oh my goodness.
I froze. Luckily enough, I don't know how I managed to get out of there. Then I drove. So when it opens, when the car like pakango vurika, so vanhu pakango shaiko. That was my saving grace. That traffic light was my saving grace. But I was shaking and screaming in the car. Abba, I'm alone.
How did you
So
manage to drive back?
I don't even know. I don't even know. So from that time, and the someone that I lost,
I'm so
I started having like mental problems, like trauma kind of. If I'm walking alone, ndikangotanga kuona motikari iri kuslowa down, I can start running. In the middle of the day, I can just start running. So it got a little bit crazy. Like it wasn't. Like so. It was
understandable that you would have such a trauma response, and definitely that's no way to live. I can totally understand why you decided that this is not the place where you want to continue raising your kids.
Yeah, exactly. You also know, Jajakuti, when you're pregnant, you see quite a lot of pregnant people, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when that close counter happened, I started seeing when about social media, you see crime being reported in the community group. Ones are if you go running and if they can't get anything from you, they'll get your shoes. It really got crazy. So now I'm guys, let's just see if we can leave this place. So my husband is the one. He was already working remotely. He was working for an international company. He was working remotely. He was headhunted. So we then started the process. But I think after I signed the contract, then COVID happened. Everything shut down.
Oh, my COVID warriors.
No,
COVID, like really messed up many immigration plans for many, many people.
yeah. okay, this is gonna be like, okay, 2 months, 3 months, then we will start again with our plans, blah blah blah. A whole year, 2 years. Takagara. So we had an option. We had an option for. It's one option, guys. So it was it.
Love it for you.
So it was headhunted in Australia. So there was Australia, then there was Ireland, there was UK.
Oh, you
So
had options. You're right. You had options.
yes, he is a critical skill. He is a critical skill, and the project or whatever that he works with was like, it's hot. So yeah, exactly. So then I don't know. We just from whatever that we looked at, we then said, okay, let's go with Ireland. So then we then moved to Ireland. So we came here on a critical visa, on a critical skills visa. So yeah, exactly. Critical skills visa.
While you're making a decision between, you said Australia, UK, and Ireland, were there like specific things that made you come to the decision of Ireland, or how did you
Not really. Not
decide?
really. You know what? With with Australia, it was a big company, and it was going to take a long time, because like the HR has to go to the whatever, like they were,
Yeah,
then they
the
come.
bureaucracy and stuff, like the paperwork moves at a slow rate. I hear you.
Exactly, because there are a lot of departments that are involved, and I was scared of COVID because COVID wasn't gone. I was
Mhm.
scared the world would shut down again and we'll be stuck in SA again.
Right,
So I
right.
was scared of being shut down there. So between UK and Ireland, I don't know why we chose. I don't know why we didn't go to UK, but I loved UK. I wanted to go to UK because my kids play soccer, so it was going to be so good for them, like being in the close to the EPL. But
I
yeah.
know, right? How was the visa process? Okay. So was the visa process to go to Ireland difficult? As in like the getting the visa part after getting the job.
Okay, so getting the visa is easy, if I should say so. So getting the critical skills visa is very easy. If you are a critical skill, your visa is easy to get, because you need the first thing that you need is an offer letter from the company to say, okay, this person is critical, we need him, and your company has to submit stuff to the Department of what is it called? Whatever, the Home Affairs. They need to submit papers to say, okay, Tashamu, in Irish person, blah blah blah, that kind of a thing. Then either your company can apply the visa for you, the critical skill visa for you, or you can apply it for yourself. But also your company has to submit some documents to the government, like the tax documents and my ID whatsoever. So usually it's the company that does it for you. Then after you are that visa, you need an entry visa
Okay.
because we hold a Zimbabwean passport.
Right.
Because you hold a Zimbabwean passport, you need an entry visa to get here. So it's once you apply critical skills, ikazobuda. How long did it take? I think it took about 6 months or so, because there was a backlog. Everything the COVID backlog, so it took about 6 months or whatever. Then
Right.
after that one is out, you then submit that one to get your entry visa, to say the reason why I want to enter Ireland is because I got a job.
Right. Right.
So then it's only the main applicant now who applies for this entry visa.
Mm-hmm.
Then once I no, okay, let me start again, because so once the main applicant gets his certificate or whatever, his critical skills visa, you can then apply for your entry visas, because you hold a Zimbabwean passport.
Right.
And the good thing about a critical skills visa is you come together as a family. One flight, you're all in.
Love it.
There is a general work visa. With a general work visa, only the applicant can come to Ireland, and they have to work for a year before the family can join. And for the family to join, you need to be earning a certain bracket.
Oh,
So that's the difference between the critical skills and the
the
general visa.
okay, I
Yes.
see now. I see.
Mhm. And
Nice.
also, the other way you can come to Ireland is using a study visa, but it's expensive.
And
Because
what's
you're an international student, it's expensive. You pay quite a lot of money to come as a student. And once you're done with your studies, you get what's called a 1G visa, a 1G stamp, where
Mhm.
you're given a year to stay so you can get a job in the field that you applied to, whatever field. Then after you've gotten that job, you can now change that visa into a work visa.
Mhm.
So that could be that also could be an option. And what else?
Spousal.
Yes.
We
Okay.
always hear about the spouse. Do you ever see this TikTok, funny TikTok of this guy who's always talking about like spousal visa, spousal visa?
What does he say?
Oh, so he'll be on a call with somebody saying, "Babe, how far with my spousal visa? How far with Go how far ne spousal visa? Ndichini determine spousal visa. I think like it's very difficult doing like when one spouse goes and the other one remains and they have to work.
Oh yes, okay, yeah, exactly. So that is the general work permit. But if you are on a critical skill, Mnoya Mese. So for us, he went first. He came first. Then we followed 3 to 4 weeks later because he wanted to get to get the ball rolling because of the big family. We just can't come Jessica then tongotarisana zero. So
Yeah, he needed to sort out accommodation, I believe. Yeah.
yes. So he did sort accommodation and got a few things. But the good thing, I'm always saying we had a soft landing. The good thing about accommodation here,
Mhm.
your landlord is supposed to provide you with I'm not sure kind of beds are mandatory. I don't know, but washing machine and a dishwasher. Every house they should come with they should come with those.
Even
But
here,
for
I
our
think you need the houses come with like a microwave, a fridge, a dishwasher, and washing machine. So at least it will be a little softer than Uguto Notanga
yes,
but and a stove. So the
yes,
better you have them. Mrombo, raro pasi while you're carpet while you're figuring out the beds and stuff. I love it.
yeah, definitely. So I'm always saying I stay in a long-term Airbnb because everything, like our landlord was so good that he gave us everything. Like, so the things that I'm that I'm adding, it's like my touch. Although I can't really put my touch. Okay, I want this because I can't take. The other time I wanted to take out a double bed. Oh, I got it anyaya. Like, hey, why do you want to do this? Blah, blah, blah. So he gave us my beds and I think yes, I'm getting my blankets, I'm getting my duvet.
Okay.
We had pots, we had plates, we had pans, we had crockery, we had cutlery. Like we had almost everything. So which is a good thing. But there
The
is
pictures in your background, they're really cute. Oh, that's what
sorry.
the pictures in your background.
Yes. He gave us that.
They're really pretty. And
Oh,
I
thank you so
see that your orchid is in bloom. Mine hasn't bloomed since I was given that orchid. I don't know if it has died or not.
much. No, it doesn't die. It doesn't. I've got like a lot of those in the house because I
Like, how
love.
long did they take to bloom? Because mine bloomed last year. I was gifted it when I moved to this house, and it was in bloom. And then after that, it's just green.
It will. Please keep taking care of it. Please keep taking care of it. It will bloom. It just needs patience. It just needs patience.
Does yours bloom every year?
Okay. So this
Oh,
one.
you just came. Yeah,
So
sorry.
this one, yes. Yeah. This one, yes. The other one is at the present moment. I don't know. It's got its own drama. Then the other one blooms. Yeah. So it's every year, but it takes forever.
I hope it does because at this point I'm like, are you dead? Like, give me something. Give me a sign.
You mean, Mama?
You mean my money? I really don't understand that trend. I just see it flying around. I'm like, what's going on? Okay. All right. So
Um,
how was it settling in Ireland after having lived in SA for so long?
okay, so the first thing that I need to say, or that I always talk about when it comes to Ireland, is I realized I was black when I got to Ireland.
Okay.
I became a minority. I was used to being like a major, but now I became a minority. Like I was like, out of every 10 people, there's only me.
Right.
And yeah, when you go
Then
shopping,
it's
the supermarket,
noticeable.
there's, I'm not represented. I'm not represented. And and my youngest son thinks that we are related to everyone who's black.
Oh my goodness.
Like up to this day,
How
up
they're
to this
giving them the nod.
day, up to this day,
The kind
when we meet someone who's black and we don't greet them, it's like, why didn't you greet them? Mama, say, why didn't you say hi? Didn't you see your friend?
Oh yeah, because
But
yeah, I've
but
never thought about it
The
that way. Like,
Irish people. You go
I've
ahead.
never thought about it that way. Like how things start looking a bit different, like from the eyes of kids who are starting to develop in those countries. So that's
Yes, definitely.
good to to know about that, like to look out for that as well. Yeah,
Yes. You know what? I think it's just coming from the fact that all your relatives back home are black. And
right.
when you visit home, you say, this is your uncle, this is your aunt, this is your whatever. Everyone is black. You don't have any white people. So he thinks every black person that we meet is our relative. But yeah, I've tried to explain to him, but we just leave it. At times I just say, okay, he's busy. Can't you see he's on his phone? Or I just try to find something just to tell him why I'm not saying hi to that other person. But
Right.
back to the question, it wasn't bad. It
Mhm.
was okay. The Irish are very, very, very happy people, very free, very helpful.
Mhm.
And so it was, I didn't have any problem. I didn't have any problem. And my kids like gelled like this.
Yeah, in the schools. How is the school system over there? Are the kids settling in well?
Yeah, they did settle well. They even joined. There is a sport that is it's called Gaelic football. More like what American football is to America is what Gaelic football is to Ireland.
So it's
And the first
rugby?
yeah, it's a mixture of rugby and soccer. It's a
Okay.
mixture of rugby and soccer. So
Right.
they love it and they play it. I still don't understand how it's scored and the things around it, but my kids play it. They love it. Like they've gotten a few awards. They also play soccer, so my kids are sportish, so we do have a lot of sports. So they do have friends from sport, friends from school, and yeah. So the schooling here is good. It's okay. We do not have any issues,
Mhm.
and we school starts in the year starts in September,
Right, right.
and we arrived in February, which was mid-year. So
Okay.
they kind of skipped a grade.
Oh, I see.
They kind of skipped a grade. So you only get to year six, yes, class six, which is more like grade six. Then
Hmm.
you go to high school.
Right.
Exactly. So they don't have year seven.
7. Okay. All right.
Yeah, they don't have class seven or year seven. Then you just go to high school. And one thing that I love about the schools here, like I don't have to prepare anybody's lunch. They
Oh,
get food from school. I'm
nice.
telling you, I'm telling you. Like when they wake up in the morning, they just shower, they just bath, they do whatever, dress themselves, just go eat their cereals, and
That's it.
Then they just go off they go to school. Off they
Yeah.
go to school. Then they get the meals from school, their fruits, whatever, they get everything from school. But
Nice.
only in primary school. In high school, they can't feed those big boys and big girls. So high school, they bring their own lunches. And we don't pay school fees here. We only pay for stationery. So
Right.
which is about 65 euro, like $60 per year. Just that.
Nice.
Mhm.
And coming into Ireland, did you have like friends that were already here, or how did you navigate the whole, motherhood thing while, being lonely? I'm assuming you were lonely, as I was.
There's a lot of layers to this. So let me start by saying, when I got here, I then had an Irish baby. I I had another baby. I've got a little one who's 1 year now. So I
Nice.
do have an Irish baby now. Why I had to do that when I have three already? I don't know. And I'm struggling with childcare. I don't know, but I'm not complaining. I'm so happy. I'm so excited. And finally, I got a girl. Finally, I got a girl.
Oh, mom.
So, so
How's
I
that
don't.
being sorry to jump
Mhm.
kilometers away? How's that been like being a girl, like a mom of a girl when you've been a boy mom for so long? Is it different?
Yeah, it is different.
Like,
I find girls are easy. I find girls are easy, and boys, it's you. There's a lot of fighting. There is just a lot of fighting. Maybe let me just wait for her to be maybe two and just grow a bit of a personality. But she's a very calm baby. Like
my
she,
toddler says no, no, no every second. So,
if I
now.
tell you, in the first month we didn't even know what a voice sounds like
Oh, nice.
because she never used to cry. I think
You're so blessed.
I think she knew that I can't do this thing.
Mhm.
So she just
Yeah.
never used to cry. Then as time went on, she became clingy and all and all. And also it's I can say this is my first baby. She is my last, but she is my first. Because with the other three kids, either my sister or my mother or I had helpers with every baby.
My goodness. We underestimate the depth that support goes until you have to do all of this on your own. Like I've never had a baby. Like this is the only baby that I've heard. But I feel like at home this would have been an easier process. That like I had for the first 3 months I was at home. So I understood how, that whole system work
Getting
and
help,
having like a
assistance.
support system, but like having her, just her, me, her, and her dad, that was just a lot.
When she sleeps, you think, okay, should I clean the house or should I shower? Should I rest? What should I do? You don't know what to do because you really get overwhelmed with things that you're supposed to do when she sleeps.
So much to do, and like, how is that for you? Having a baby, being in a new country, having to run this town by yourself, this home. No, I mean,
I
of
don't
course,
know.
your husband. Like, just the two of you being like, no support system.
Yeah, exactly. What somebody told me, I don't know whether I heard it on Instagram, whether I heard it on YouTube, or somebody told me this, but they said you don't stay in a showroom. You don't stay in a showroom. Do what you can. As
One,
long as everyone is fit and everyone is happy, then
they're
we
alive
are
at
home
the
and
end of
dry.
the day.
So
That's it.
that's what I go with.
I hear you. I hear
I
you.
try I try keep my house clean, but because I've got boys and they do have friends that come in, so and I'm also trying to teach them to say after you've done playing, please pick your toys. So I am in the process of teaching them and also like just letting everyone live. Like I don't live in a showroom. You can't expect the house to be clean all the time. Those
Right.
houses that we see on Instagram that are like always like this, they do have playrooms and we don't have a playroom. So that lounge or that dining or that bedroom is their playroom, and I just let them be. I just let them be.
Those are
But
nice ones. I mean, I'm looking at my house right now. I'm like, I need to clean, but there are no enough hours. There's no enough time. Um, so like in terms of friendships, going out, having groups, have you started assimilating that way?
so friendships, I don't know. You know, friendships. You know, they're like, I don't know. I don't know how to. I don't know how to answer that one. But yeah, it's only now this summer that I've just started to put myself out there to look for people who enjoy the same things as me. Like I'm into making clothes, so I'm now looking for people who have similar interests like me in planting myself with those people. And with the African community, as much as we want to 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 be together, I think we only meet maybe on Africa Day. That's when we meet because
Oh.
takabva kuafrica kunotsvaga mari hatina kuya kuzoita specialize kunoko. So people here are always working, and you also don't want to be like this with my people.
Why don't you want to be like this with your people?
I think you've had it. I think you've had it. So no what I'm like
Yeah,
I don't
there's
know.
always all these things about, oh, like don't be too close. But I've always wondered why that is. I
No,
mean,
but I do have,
yeah.
yeah, I do have a few Zimbabwean ladies that I speak with. I think we had one lunch, which is fine. It's not like what I don't want or what I don't want to get to. Tikanditsike on who we sleep off and they so
You,
far so good.
what a
I'm
long
okay
distance
with
kind
my
of
current
uh,
friendships.
friendship.
I'm
Yeah, not too
I'm
much.
okay with my current friendships.
Yeah.
I'm also, because I stayed in South Africa and I'm Zimbabwean, I've got a bit of not really an identity crisis, but I do mix and mingle, and I'm part of like South African groups in my county, in my community. So I do meet with those ladies once in a while, and it's just lunch. It's
Hmm.
just lunch and
Nothing.
nothing much. Yeah, exactly. Nothing much that happens there.
Love it.
So yeah, it's okay. I think I got depressed at some point, but that's when I decided to say this summer I'm going out. I'm gonna be putting myself out there. Either I'm going out by myself or I'm going out with those friends. Like
Right.
a few weeks ago, I went on my first solo staycation, like
Oh,
booking an Airbnb and going to sleep out by myself because we can't go on a date because we've got four
no,
kids and
oh,
childcare is.
yeah, you spoke about depression a little bit. Are there resources to support you where you are? Have you sought them out? Or you're just like, ah, no, I didn't no pora again. Go mwaka wenka, I'll be fine. Because that's what we tend to do as people. Like I remember when I went on like just after my daughter's first birthday, the social worker said, if you ever need to talk and everything, I was like, you're not gonna get me talking. Like, I'm not gonna be talking. But later on, I'm like, this is a resource that I'm being offered, and I'm saying, no, why? Why? Why can't I just go and talk my stuff through?
You know what? For me, I've had three biggest challenges. So the first challenge is obviously childcare, and there's nothing I can do about that. There's nothing I can do about that. I just have to work with that. And the challenge is I cannot go on a date. I cannot date my husband. We just can't leave the kids because if childcare we have to pay per child per
Hour.
child per hour. So if we're going to be gone for like 5 hours, it's whether it's like $1 or $5. So it's that times 4 times 5 hours. So that is
I
something else. So besides that, I had a miscarriage.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
And when I look at my pictures or videos, or then when I had the miscarriage, I can say I was crazy. Things that I used to do, like,
No, you're not crazy. You're going through it.
you
It's
know what, I was told we need to do, they need, like, if you, I don't know, not that, when you have a miscarriage, they're supposed to do what's called a DNC, just to remove that pregnancy. But I refused because I thought, okay, no, this is just a lie. So my baby is fine, blah, blah, blah. And I traveled so many kilometers, so many hours away from home alone. Like,
just to be
what?
with yourself.
No, not at all. Like, I wasn't supposed to do that. But what if something had happened there? Then when I lost that baby now, like, it happened so violently. Luckily enough, I was home and it was like early in the morning, and I collapsed twice, not
Mm.
knowing what's happening. So what if what had happened when I was out there? So I had to be taken by an ambulance, and I had to get what do you call it, a blood transfusion. So after that, whatever that happened, I then got a little bit sad. Ah, then I went to a little bit depression. Ah, anyway, then I got pregnant. Then this baby was born. This little girl was born. When the little girl was born, I think a month, she got what's called RSV virus, which is some kind of it's more like flu, but it's very deadly to babies. And we were at home, and she was sick. When we took her to the doctor, they were like, "Why were you sitting at home?" And she was hospitalized, and she got critical and all and all. And I'm just a few weeks from like postpartum, so
Oh
it
my,
was
that must
so
have
it was
been hard for you.
yeah, it was more like a double depression. So after all that, I'm like, okay, I need to be out there either with other people or just by myself, just getting fresh air. So what I do is, like, I go walk out, I go I go meet other people. Like, I just get fresh air. I just do things that I love, like making clothes, like buying books. I just try and keep
Being
myself busy. Keep myself busy. But I was offered help. I just said, okay, I don't want, because I didn't want to announce it about what data.
why do we
But
refuse
I'm okay now.
when when it's given? I also did the same. I just I cannot explain why I did it. I think we should do better and accept help as it comes
I
sometimes.
think so. I think so. I think so.
We
Yes.
really should do better when it comes to accepting help because I don't know if it's because of like, the resilience we have as Africans that, what, this is like we can do it by ourselves, like this happens or whatever. But I think we
I
will
think it comes. I think it comes with being African and being Zimbabwean.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm sorry that that must have been difficult for you.
Yeah, being
Especially
alone.
while you're settling in a new country and everything. Let's talk about your wins now in this country. Yes, that's how-
Okay, so these are not really my wins as per se, but it's the stuff that I love it's the stuff that I love about Ireland, that I love in Ireland. So
Mhm.
the first thing is like, transport is very reliable. You can do without a car. You can do without a car. Like, unotokwira bus ukaenda kwauri which is fine. And kids under the age of 6 get free GP visits. You get what's called, I think now I got to increase. It's now like it's up to 8 years. So kids under the age of 8, they go to the GP free. And
Nice.
also, talking about health,
Mhm.
um, you need a family doctor. It's different from South Africa or from Zimbabwe, where you just pitch up at a doctor or just call and just pitch up. You go to your family doctor, your family GP. You go to your family GP. So you need to be registered with a doctor before you even go there. So I don't know if I love it or if I don't love it. Okay, I don't love it because at times
Was it hard getting a family doctor when you just arrived? It was difficult here.
for
Getting
us it was easy. Mhm.
That's lovely. That's
I
lovely.
think we're lucky. I don't know. For us, it was easy. Others say they struggle getting these doctors, but getting an appointment to see that doctor can be something else. Can be something else.
Right.
Yeah.
How about your profession? How have you managed that since moving to Ireland?
So professionally, like okay, let me start by giving advice to anyone who's moving or who's going to move, whatever. Is when you move, especially if you're not a critical skill like myself,
Mm-hmm.
you need to come with an open mind to be changing, to be doing almost anything,
I hear you.
to be doing almost anything. Because ukada kuti ini ndinoshanda kwa-accounts chete ka, you look for that accounts job and you won't get it.
Will not find it.
Yes, you won't find it. You won't find it. So currently, I'm working for I work remotely. I work part time because I was working full time, and because of the kids, I just couldn't manage separation. So I work part time. I work 3 days a week remotely. It's a US company, but it's island based.
US companies pay really well.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know. Money is never enough, but yeah, okay, yeah. So I got into the company as a customer care. Customer care. Zvekudara mafoni kubatsira vanhu pafoni, but now I'm working in the marketing department. So
Get you progressing. Love it.
yes, exactly. I'm so happy about it. Yeah, but
Working from home while you have a kid, because I've done that, and it's not
mhm.
the moment that she went to daycare, I was like,
Because when I got here, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna be studying. I wanna be like pursue this. When you get on the ground, it's a different ball game. So unongoita zviripo zvauri
oh,
ku- unongoita zviripo. So if you're moving here, don't be hell bent with the accounts, marketing, or whatsoever. Like care work, you're getting money, and the good thing is everyone who works. If you are going to work for a legit company, even if you're cleaning, you get minimum wage.
mm-hmm.
It is a minimum wage that you get, which is something.
Right.
Yes, everyone is paid minimum wage. Just send an Zimbabwe kuti munonegotiate kuti okay, you hapana panokupa $5, minimum wage inenge iri kana $13. So if the minimum wage is like 12, I think it's about €13 now, €13 per hour. If the
Right.
minimum wage is certain, just know that every job that you're going to get, whatever the job it is, you're bound to get the minimum wage, which is something.
That's lovely. That's lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Any more advice for people who are thinking about moving to Ireland? What can they look out for? Yeah.
Okay. It rains in Ireland. It rains, and also maybe this is. I think it's a culture shock.
Yeah.
So we went for. It's called the St. Patrick's Parade, which
Right.
is St. Patrick's Day, Ireland, St. Patrick's Day, whatever. And it started raining. Us being Zimbabweans, but I don't know when the Irish stayed put on the street.
Oh wow.
And that's them.
Against
When it rains, they are dressed for the weather.
Yeah.
They've got umbrellas, they've got coats, whatever. They always have something like avatizemvura. So
Right.
the show goes on. Even if there is a meeting or a sport or whatever, if it rains, it goes on. The show goes on. No cancel.
I'm not trying to get the flu. Ah, that's nice. That's nice.
Okay, and also in Ireland, kids don't you don't apply for permits for kids.
Oh yeah?
So you only apply for my entry visas for them to get in.
Hmm.
You only apply for my permits to get in here. But after where it's only the parents, so the mother and the father, renew every year or depending with your visa. But kids, nothing. So you get
What's
to.
the situation like in terms of permanent residency? Is that something that you guys would want to explore, or are you
Definitely.
nobody
We,
goes
we,
back? Is it the same as the UK leave to remain, or is it a different sort of situation?
Okay, so here I think I tend to be you need to I don't know the days in the Kangan what Mangari, but it's about 5 years. So after 5 years you apply for that and you get it's called citizenship or like I get confused between citizenship and naturalization, whatever. But then it's for you to get a passport. So
Right.
you need about 5 years, but it's not really 5 years, 5 years straight. You need a certain number of days to say, I think they 1,000 something day, 1,000 or 2,000, I don't know. So like if you leave the country, so if you leave the country, my days are obvious. But I didn't get with Zimbabwe.
Mhm.
Yes, you were not here, so my days are our account. So they'll calculate every days every year to say, okay, so you need a certain number of days for you to pass for that. But it's what we're here for, and I'm here for my kids to have a better life. And so the Irish passport is, I think, on the top 5 or top 10 of the best passports in the world.
Yeah.
You Yes, I think you can go to I think 100 more than 130 countries with a visa free, as compared to Zimbabwe where you need where like you've got 130 countries maybe that you need a visa for. So that's the difference. And this is what I'm hoping for my kids. By the time they finish school, they'll
Mhm.
have an Irish passport. They will be Irish and they'll be paying Irish fees for them for the uni,
Right.
and they also get what's called that's working what visa. You know, like they can come to Canada, working holiday.
In
Work,
holiday. Okay.
yes. It's an opportunity for them to travel the world. It's an opportunity for them to open their minds. Of which, if a person stays in Zimbabwe or South Africa or still holds a Zimbabwean passport, you do not have that opportunity. You pay quite a lot of money for some of these things. So guys, ndingofa hangu nechando, but I'm doing this for my kids.
Exactly. Yeah. I've also though realized that in terms of in Africa, Zimbabwe has quite a better standing passport. I mean, of course,
Yes.
it's not like Seychelles level where Seychelles can go into many countries. But being married to an Ethiopian myself, I realized, you know what, my green passport is my green passport is very
Yeah,
like you can travel with it. So yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Let me just say, Sundays here reminds me so much of growing up in Zimbabwe. Sundays are slow. There
Uh-huh.
are shops that open at 12 o'clock, then they close at 3. Like when I say Zimbabwe, I'm talking about the Zimbabwe of my 90s because I'm very old. So some shops open at 12. Yeah, exactly. Life is just a bit slow because I don't stay in the city. I don't stay in the city. I stay in a town.
I live in Dublin.
No, I don't stay in the, I can't afford Dublin. My family is so big to afford Dublin.
I hear you.
Yeah, exactly. I think not. I think Dublin is so expensive, so we can't really afford that. And our family is big, so we want somewhere that is we're close to Dublin. The life is slow. The life is quiet, but we still have access to Dublin. It's just like an hour away from Dublin.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Nice,
but
nice.
also that was a big struggle for me. I'm only getting used now. It was a big struggle for me from being a big city girl, like a jobber girl,
Mhm.
to coming staying in somewhere that is quiet. You know, like moving from Joburg, unogara kumarondera kuti muchivumo.
Yeah, going back to Russia, it's crazy. Oh, I forgot to ask, how has your husband adjusted?
Um, he's okay. He is okay. He just doesn't have friends. And me and him, we were like similar, but it's only me who goes out often. But Ian Sangana non border, but he's a chill person, so he doesn't go out, so he still doesn't have friends. I'm his friend, and yeah.
So we know you.
Yeah, and also adding to that, the diaspora can break or make your relationship, because this is the person that you have like 24, let me say 24/7 if you work from home or whatever. This is the person that you have 24/7. If you don't feel like cooking, this is the person who you're going to tell. If you're angry, if somebody does something to you, this is the person that you have. And at times it can get crazy, but you need to understand your
Become a
person.
lot dependent
Understand.
on each other. Like there are no other outlets. There's like they become it's an advantage that they become your only person, but also a big disadvantage because sometimes,
They can be annoying on be in your face all the time.
I hear you. Yeah.
Oh, before I
Yeah.
before I forget, if you are coming from Zimbabwe, coming to Ireland, your driver's license, you have to start from scratch. You have to sit for your
You cannot
theory.
transfer
No,
your
you can't. They can only transfer the South African one. They can only transfer the South African one. So you start with the theory, then you go for the classes, then you go for the road test. It's something else. Yeah.
crazy. And
Yeah.
as we are winding down, any last words?
Um. Any last words? I don't know. I think I've said everything, but like I said, let me just say, keep an open mind. Just keep an open mind. You can change your career to everything and anything. And if you're a spouse, kana waita mukana wekuuya kunoko, usina chawinacho, grab that mukana. You can study something. You can be something. You can be. Opportunities are there. Kana that opportunities are there, and not mabasa aripo.
Isiteni chingoda malinks ja tipei malinks but opportunities abuda kuti pasiri malinks
Guess mama opportunity ariko. You can study something. You can upgrade yourself. You can, like I said, keep your mind open. Just kind of clean one. So like in I've stayed data fair share ngiyogara hospital kuno. You see someone anogara hospital achibuda hospital, so motikati ari kunopinda anga achicleana hospital muward yongore. The car that she's getting into.
and you're
Like then you meet her on a day that she's not working. Like anenge atori munhu atori bo. But
like there's this car will chef
my
building
people,
us.
my
Like I
people.
wanna be a chef. I wanna be a boss.
Yes, my people.
It's a lot. Anyway, thank you so much for availing yourself to come to Out of the Teapot podcast, a podcast where we discuss and we talk to voices of Zimbabweans who are abroad. And therefore, this has been nice. And this conversation, I wish it would go on forever and ever, but every nice, great things come to an end. So, yay.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and thank you so much for spending time with me. It's more like this was more like a date for me. Like that's the level of loneliness.
I saw you brought your wine. You should have told me that, girl, we're doing a wine night, so I would have been on your level as well.
Definitely, we should invite other people and just have like a group wine night where we just talk about everything Zimbabwean, play games, do like just something. Don't go to Ranyada, Tsuro na Gudo.
Let's do
Just
that.
laugh, like everything and anything.
To plan that. That is actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Me and you, let's plan that. Let's talk on Instagram about this. Okay, girl.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have
See
a good one.
you too.
Thank you for tuning in to Out of the Teapot podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's episode and feel inspired by the stories of Zimbabweans making waves around the world. If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave us a review. It helps others discover the podcast. Follow us on social media to stay updated on upcoming episodes and behind the scenes content. And if you have a story to share, we would love to hear from you. Use the hashtag #OutOfTheTeapot podcast or reach out directly. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, keep growing, no matter where you are in the world.